On the night of the crash, the right wingtip hooked into the ground, the landing gear collapsed, and the left wing snapped off outside the left engine. Fuel pouring from the ruptured fuel tanks ignited, enveloping the airplane in flames. The engines and instruments had long ago been salvaged for parts, but the broken airframe remained where it died, rusting, corroded, and covered with generations of overlapping graffiti and spray-painted initials. LJ plus DF. Eat me. PSHS number 1. Krista took his hand and tugged him toward the plane.
Come with me. I want to show you something.
Can't you tell me about it in the car? I'm cold.
No, not in the car. This is important.
Jack followed her along the fuselage to the tail, wondering what she wanted to show him about this stupid airplane. But instead she led him onto the overgrown remains of the runway. She stared into the darkness that masked the desert. Her smart black eyes shined like jewels filled with starlight. Jack touched her hair.
Chris?
They had known each other for 1 year, 2 months, and 16 days. They had been head over heels, crazy, there and back, inside out, bottom to top, in love for 5 months, 3 weeks, and 11 days. He hadn't told her the truth about himself until after she declared her love. If he had secrets then, she had secrets now. Krista took his hand in both of hers, giving him the serious, all-business eyes.
This place is special to my family.
Jack had no idea what she was talking about. A drug runner's airstrip?
This place, right here between the mountains, it's a place easily found by people coming from the south. For all the same reasons the drug dealers put their landing strip here. When my mother was 7, coyotes brought her up through the desert from the south. Mom and her sister and 2 cousins. A man with a hearse was waiting here at this airplane to drive them into town.
Jack said, "No shit?" Krista laughed, but her laugh was unsure.
I never knew. She only told me a couple of weeks ago.
I don't care.
Hey, I'm giving you momentous family history and you don't care?
I mean that she's illegal, undocumented. Who gives a shit? Krista tipped back to look up at him, then suddenly grabbed his ears and kissed him.
Undocumented, but you don't have to go all PC.
Krista's mother had described a 12-day trip on foot, in cars, and in a delivery truck where it got so hot that an old man died. The last leg of their journey had been in a covered pickup truck at night past the Salton Sea and across a 16-mile stretch of desert to the old crash site. The man with the hearse had driven them to a supermarket parking lot at the eastern edge of Coachella, where her uncle was waiting. She looked south into the darkness as if she could see her mother's footsteps.
I wouldn't be here if she hadn't come through this place. She wouldn't have met my dad. I wouldn't have met you. I wouldn't exist.
Krista looked up, and her face was all summa cum laude focused.
Can you imagine what her journey must have been like? I'm her kid, and I can't even begin.
She was starting to say more when Jack heard a far-off squeal. He stood taller, listening, but didn't say anything until he heard it again.
You hear it?
Krista turned as the faint sound of a muffled engine reached them, and 2 lurching shapes appeared in the dim starlight. Jack studied them for a moment and realized they were lightless trucks crawling toward them across the desert. Jack felt a stab of fear and whispered frantically into her ear.
This sucks, man. Let's get out of here. No. I want to see. Shh. They could be drug runners. We don't want to be here. Just wait.
She pulled him to the far side of the airplane, where they settled into a low depression between the cactus. A large box truck emerged from the dark like a ship appearing out of a fog. It rumbled onto the overgrown landing strip and stopped less than 30 yards away. No brake lights flared when it stopped. Jack tried to make himself even smaller and wished he had pulled Chris away. A moment later, the cab creaked open and 2 men climbed out. The driver walked a few yards in front of the truck, then studied a glowing handheld device. This deep in the desert, Jack thought it was probably a GPS. While the driver studied his GPS, the passenger went to the back of the truck and pushed the box door open with a loud clatter. The man said something in Spanish, then Jack heard soft voices as silhouette people climbed from the truck.